What's going on, everyone? This is ODC, it's me, and I'm back with another action figure review. This is my review of the Mattel DC Comics Multiverse 30th Anniversary Edition Superman from the Dark Knight Returns. This is a figure I was actually really looking forward to, and I know I am not a Mattel fan. I'm a fan of the company itself. But ever since they killed off the DC-UC line, I've been kind of protesting their products. But when they came out with this, I had to get it. I had to call myself a hypocrite for going back to the well again, so to speak. And I had to pick this up. This is a figure that I was always hoping that we would get in the DC-UC slash Motu body. The Motu body is just, it looks beautiful on this figure, and I'm hoping down the road to actually pick up another one of this and, you know, have one loose and have one mint on card. But for now, we're going to bust this guy open. We're going to take a closer look at him. Just taking a look at the packaging really quick. It's just got a nice little picture of Superman, how he looked in the graphic novel. And then you have your 30th anniversary edition right here. And this is Batman, The Dark Knight Returns, Batman, The Dark Knight Returns Superman. On the side, you have another picture of Superman from the comic. And then on the back, it shows the other figures that are available in the 30th anniversary line, which are Batman, which we've just reviewed, and then we have Superman, and then we have Son of Batman. These are actually the mutant gang members that kind of flip-flopped and decided to follow Batman now after he defeated the mutant leader. And they call themselves the Sons of Batman. But that's pretty much it for the packaging. Let's not waste any more time. We'll get Superman opened up and take a closer look at him. We'll be right back. Okay, and we're back with Superman out of packaging, and I gotta say, he looks pretty good. I'm enjoying this figure. I think he looks really good on the Motu body, as far as them trying to recreate how he looked in the graphic novel. I'm gonna bring in a couple figures for a size comparison in a minute, but to get to his accessory, it is the Kryptonite arrow that the one-armed Green Arrow shot at him. So he does include that, which was actually included in the original figure that was released by DC Direct at the time. Now they're DC Collectibles. But I think this figure looks really good. He actually has some paint shading going throughout his arms here. It might not be picking up on camera, but there's a little bit of black paint shading going throughout the shoulder into the bicep and down to the forearm, which is pretty nice. I guess I don't mind it so much. This figure is actually very light. I actually thought it was going to have a little bit more weight to it, but it's lighter than I actually imagined, which is quite surprising, to be honest with you. He stands beautifully, and he does, like I said, he does pretty much come. He is based off of the Motu body. And he does have those Motu hands with the kind of giving the thumbs up the whole time. A little bit of a paint issue there on the hand. That kind of bugs me a little bit. Whenever paint blemishes are on a figure, and it's having to do with the skin tone, it just bothers me. But I'm just happy that there's no issues with the face. I think the face looks pretty good. They definitely got the hair the hair right for him. Very 50s hair curl right there. Looks like Superman's a greaser. On the back of the cape, he looks pretty good. He doesn't have a Superman logo, though. He's supposed to, I believe, have an all-yellow Superman logo. I'm pretty sure of that. And he does not. The cape is also a little bit shorter than I was expecting. I was expecting it to be at least down to his ankles. And it's down to his calf. So I guess it's a little bit off, especially not having the logo on the back. And that should be embossed on his back as well. It shouldn't just be printed because it just wouldn't look right. But I think they got the lower torso down pretty good. Don't have an issue there. I like the Superman logo. It's not crooked. A little bit of a Superman cape syndrome here, as Chapman Films would say. But I think for the most part, it's okay. I could probably... you can't really move it either. I mean, it's really glued on there. It's also pegged into the back as well. And this is not a very heavy cape. This is actually a pretty lightweight plastic. So that's actually really nice, because I thought he was actually going to have a heavier cape, similar to what Batman had, but this is probably half the weight of Batman's, probably a third of the weight of Batman's cape. But I think he looks really good. As far as his articulation goes, his head can look up a little bit, and it does look down, and it can do a full 360 rotation. And we got some job truckies up in here. And his arms go up. They do go down. Full 360 rotation. He does have a bicep swivel, a single bend at the elbow, which is not the best range of motion right there. But it does have a swivel at the wrist as well. No hinge or anything, which is another disappointment, but it's Mattel we're talking about here. Don't ask of a lot of them. So figure does go forward on the ab crunch. It doesn't really go back. He does have a waist swivel, and he does have T-jointed hips, which go out and they go forward. A little bit of hindrance by his, I'll just say, underwear / diaper here, because it is a separate piece sculpted over to kind of cover the joints here on the torso. And there's the back. That's what the back looks like. He does have an upper thigh swivel, and it's nice and hidden. I think that's pretty nice, actually. A single bend at the knee, which is actually a really good range of motion there for their single bend. And then he does have a boot swivel, similar to Batman, and then the ankle hinge, which goes forward and back, and it doesn't really go side to side. A little bit. There's a little bit of give in there, but just a little bit. My one gripe, I think, with the Motu body is that the ankles on a lot of these Motu figures get really loose, and some of them come out of package excessively. I was going to say extremely, but I switched it. Excessively loose, and that's the one gripe I have, and it's mostly because the upper torso is so bulky that these poor ankles can't hold all the weight, and then they just probably, from them standing up all the time, it's just, it's gonna put too much weight on it, and then it's gonna collapse. He can hold the arrow in his hand nicely, kind of, sort of. I guess. Let's try the other hand. Maybe the other hand's a little bit tighter. No, it's still a little bit loose in the hand. Shake weight. Use that shake weight. Anyway, but to bring in a couple other figures to compare him to, let's just go the Superman route. We'll bring in a regular DC UC, and as you can see, he dwarfs the DC UC action figure. But this is a different look and a different version. This is supposed to be specific of the Dark Knight Returns graphic novel, so I don't really think he's supposed to be in scale. So there's that, and then we'll just bring in the original, which is still, I'm going to be honest with you, one of my favorite DC Direct / DC Collectibles action figures. Definitely one of my favorites. This has got to be, I absolutely adore this sculpt, and I still think it's my favorite because, I mean, you can see the difference in the blues here, and this just looks this is just way more accurate right here, as opposed to this, which is much darker. He was much lighter in the graphic novel. If you haven't read it, please go read it. It's a very good graphic novel for Batman, but not so good for Superman. Frank Miller doesn't really care for the Superman characters. He kind of portrays him in a unfair light, in my book, and I'm a Batman fan. That's a Batman fan saying is. So, this is a very good figure. If you don't happen to have this figure, I think there were 2 4-packs that were available in different decos. And this is the single card release. This is the one I would probably recommend you get. The single card that came out a long time ago by DC Direct. But the sculpt, the articulation is much better on the Mattel figure, obviously. But the sculpt and just the overall look of the Superman is just done so much better on the DC Direct version. Even has some blue in the hair here to highlight, to kind of give off that comic book feel. It just looks like he jumped right out of the page with this figure. And here's that Superman symbol I was talking about on the back. It's just all yellow. Yeah, this figure's beautiful. I love this figure. But yeah, I mean, both are good figures, and if you missed out on this guy and you don't want to spend, I know this guy goes for around anywhere from $30 to $40 now. So if you don't want to spend the $30 or $40 and you happen to see this guy at Walmart for $20, I mean, I wouldn't pass him up. I still think they're both solid figures, but this is the far superior in my book still to this day. All right, now let's get him out of there. Yeah, you know what? I still like it, and I mean, even though the face sculpts are different, as you can tell there, I still like both of them. I just like the original DC Direct version a little bit better. But I'm pretty happy to have this guy. When they were announced last year, I was pretty excited about getting him. Let me just pause this really quick, and I'll go get Batman, and then we'll pair them up together. Okay, and we're back. As you can see, Superman is surrounded by Batman. This was the first release of from Mattel, the black and gray version, which is just an awesome, fantastic figure. I believe it was released in the DC Batman Unlimited line, and then this was just recently released in the newly named Multiverse, which is, I mean, different head sculpt on these two and different paint deco, but obviously different logos. But this is a fantastic. All three of these are fantastic figures. I really do enjoy all three of these, so I would definitely recommend them. They're still good figures. Not the greatest figures ever, but they're solid figures. So if you're on the fence about getting them at a $20 price point, I wouldn't pass them up. For some reason, Superman figures keep going up and up in price, and I don't quite get it. But you know the market these days, guys. But anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you for watching, as always, and I will see you guys on the flip side.